it's not gonna happen because no one ever gonna notice. Hello and welcome to episode number 9 of Uniko Knits Knitting Podcast. My name is Casia and I'm a knitter and indie dyer. You can find me on Instagram as Uniko Knits and Uniko Yarns. I live on Bornholm, a beautiful sunny island in the middle of the Baltic Sea, and this is my little space on the big web where I share with you my journey. So please grab your favorite cup, something to work on, and let's dive into my colorful universe. Today is the Monday, 12th of April, and I would like to say a huge welcome to every new viewers. I hope you enjoy the content, and welcome back to all the returning viewers. It's lovely to have you back, and after this little break, which was due to the Easter. And I am normally planning to record the podcast every second week, like just before the weekend. And after, like last time, it would be scheduled for the Great Friday, so just at the beginning of the Easter. And that just means that all my family was at home, and that means that there is not the best mind and space to record podcasts. And after Easter there was plenty of stuff I had to put my mind into, so here we are. But I had some downtime so I had some time to knitting, and today I have a lot of things to share with you. A lot of knits, a lot of thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Just to have a little admin stuff at the beginning, we are still running the knit along with a colorwork on Instagram, because there was some viewers who asked me, and there is still plenty of time. So if you consider to cast something on, then I don't think there is anything that should stop you. The knit along is up till end of summer break, so plenty of time. And if you don't know what to cast on, you can go to Instagram and check the hashtag colorwork_Uniko_KL and get inspired, because there are plenty of very beautiful projects. So yeah, and there are of course prizes at the end of the knit along, which are very beautiful, and I have shown that in the previous episodes. So if you want to check them out, then you can go and see the previous episodes, and I will perhaps show them again in maybe the next episode or something like this. But let's go to the knitting content. As I said, there's quite many things I would like to share with you. So let's start with what I'm wearing. And in the last episode I was finished with this one. It's a Casia V-nec from Refined Knitwear. But last time I was done with 2 sweaters same time, so I had the other sweater on, and I've said that I'm gonna put this one on next time I'm podcasting. So I did. So you can see how it fits and how it looks, how all of that. I don't think I'm gonna talk a lot about this because I did quite much in the previous episodes. So this is just a very quick look. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it is very light and feminine sweater, top down, with the V-neck, as you can see. Knitted with 2 strands of Knitwear, and I used the Uniko yarns, my brand, Candy Crush, which is like this pastel colorway with pink, blue, and yellow, and colors in between. I knitted on the 4mm needle size, and so the only modification I did is that I made my sleeves longer, and they are same length, which is which is great. I had a bit of struggle of that because I switched the type of the needle. I was knitting on the first sleeve and the second sleeve, so my row gauge changed, but everything is fine right now, and it's blocked and it's gorgeous. And I mean, if there is like slightly difference between like few millimeters, centimeter or something, I don't care, but I can't see it, so it is totally fine. The pattern is very well written. I'm amazed how good she Riga, how good she described the picking up the stitches along the opening for the neck, which normally I really hate, and I had to pick up a few times before I get the right amount of the stitches. But this one, it just worked with the first time, because she tells you exactly how many stitches there are for the sleeve, for the raglan, for the left part, right part, and all that jazz. So that way it's very easy to get the exact amount, unless you make a modification with how deep your V-neck is, which is allowed. I just did with just right after pattern, so it was very nice, and it has like this small puff sleeves here, so it makes this very feminine look. Yeah, that's it. I'm really happy for it. It's not that warm, and we have the weather is quite crazy right now, because we have everything between 20 degrees, no, maybe 15 degrees Celsius, till like 5 or 2, and snow. So there were days that I was wearing this one and without jacket, and then other days then I actually came back to my winter jacket and sweaters and vests and so on, because it was so cold. Right now, today, it's quite cold. So this is the weather update. Actually, this Easter we had snow here on Bornholm, which was quite funny because there was no snow for the Christmas. So it's, yeah. But hey, we had a white Easter, obviously. Yeah. But there are many other stuff I want to show you. So let's start with something which you have seen on the last podcast where I cast it on. But now it's a finished object. So I decided to knit a vest for my daughter, because I made one vest for my sister daughter, my niece, for the Christmas. And I think it's such a great knit, because it's keeping the belly and the back warm, and that's what is important. My daughter is quite warm, and that means that she's really fighting to get some sweaters on. She doesn't like it. She thinks it's too warm. So I thought I'm gonna trick her. So it's like a sweater, just without sleeves. And I mean, it is done. It's blocked and it's used like many times. She is so happy with it. And I think that's the reason that she is she's warm where she needs to be, but she has a lot of place to move, and that she's not getting overheated, because she can still like there's plenty of room that her heat can come out. So this is a Stockholm Slipover Junior from Petiteknit, and it's size 7 years old. Even she is only 5.5, not soon 6. She is not a big kid, I would say. She's quite average to small. But I thought like the West, it's something very nice to like. It's okay if it's a bit too big, and then she can grow to it. And actually, it's not that much too big. It's quite fitting her well. It's a bit longer. She still has kind of like a kid belly, so I think maybe till she's 7 years old, it's gonna be gone. Like it's gonna be more flat, and the length's gonna be just great. So I think it's a great piece of the cardboard. Then she's gonna use for a long time. Last time I think I had the back piece and those 2 flaps in the front, and I connected. I think that's where I was that time. Obviously, I don't have any stitch marker here because she was using it a lot. What I did, I was knitting it on the needle size 4.5, as the pattern said. So I decided to use a back as a swatch. So I knitted the back and forth, the back piece, and then I block it with the steamer. And I found out that it was I didn't get the gauge, so I just changed the needle size to 5mm, starting from the beginning. And when I was done with this piece, like up to here, then I block it again with the steam. I have like this steamer. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen it. Yeah, so I blocked it, checked it, and the gauge was perfect. So I just kept going. And this is knitted in 2 strands, and I have it here. I used some kind of, the yarn that I dyed, but it was, oh, what's happening here? But it was not good enough to sell it, so I decided to use it myself. So this one is sock yarn, so it's merino nylon. It is more blue, I think, that it shows, and I was just trying to some kind of new way of speckling it. And I didn't like it, so yeah, and it was just 1 skein. I dyed it just to check it out. And this one is a Sweet Dream silk mohair, which is actually in my shop, but not right now, but it's gonna be back. And the problem was there was not enough pink in it, then as in the original, which is kind of silly because it is a hand-dyed yarn, and that means that every skein is kind of different. But I'm really trying to make it like continuing, so you know what you can expect, kind of. So I don't like to sell the skeins that feel or look different. I don't know, maybe I'm too perfectionistic with that. I don't know. What do you think? Is like, when you're buying hand-dyed yarn, do you expect it to be like exactly the same every time, or do you actually accept when there is this variation? I mean, there is not. It's not possible to make it 100% the same, but yeah. As I said, this one did not have enough pink, and I put it to the side. And when I knit those two together, I really love the outcome, and I still see a lot of pink. So I think it was just not. I don't know. I think it was me being way too hard on myself, but. And I actually really like how the speckles came out. I think it's also often I have this thing that I'm surprised how even there is a yarn I'm for some reason like not allowing to sell because I feel something like it's not good enough or something. But then when I'm knitting them up myself, then I actually often ending up loving it so much. And yeah. So yes, about the construction, I think I talked about it a bit last time, and again I talked it a bit for sure in the December episodes where I was making the first one. But yes, there's a back piece what you need back and forth, and then you pick up the stitches along the here the arms, and then you're making those two parts separately. Knitting back and forth with some increases, decreases to make the neck and the opening and the sleeve like armhole construction here, and then put together and knitting around the rest parts. Picking up stitches for the neck, picking up stitches for the armhole, which I really don't enjoy. This time I had to redo it a few times, and I don't think it's like in the neck line, it's not that important. I think that it is exactly the amount that it's in the pattern. If it's like +2, -2, I'm fine with that. But I really like when the armholes have the same amount of stitches, and that's why the first one is like I have to copy the second one. So that's why the second one often I have to try it a few times. But really happy with this one, and my daughter is so happy with it. I had to ask her kindly if I could show it in the podcast, so if she could, if I could keep it at home, because she really would love to wear it. So I actually thought I'm gonna need one more. I don't know if it's gonna be a Petiteknit again. I'm really happy with this one, so I might happen. From other hand, I'm thinking like it would be maybe more exciting if I would need something else, maybe a V-nec or something. So I'm not 100% what it's gonna happen, but I chose the yarn, so I could actually show it. It's the yarn I dyed, and I'm checking the new base, as always, because I'm always checking new bases. So this is merino and silk, and this is the silk mohair I'm gonna use together. So this neon, I don't know if it's coming up as neonish as it is, but this is like the yellow neon with very cold color, and this is the same neon called neon yellow, and some kind of like blue with gray and a bit of green. I am predicting it to make stripes with a dominance of yellow color, but yeah, I'm actually quite excited how it's gonna look knitted. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna do another test for her. Yeah. And then again, I have one more finished object. And if you follow me on the Instagram on Uniko Knits, then you perhaps have seen it. It was the best documented knit I did, I think, because I was putting a lot of stories. I actually asked you if, what do you think, if I should cast something new on, or keep working on my whips? And then the majority said that of course I should cast on. So I did. This is, those are the shorts. It's called loose fit shorts from Ministrikk. It's the Norwegian pattern. Here you go. Oh, I actually whipped all the ends. I just forgot it to snap it. Yep, yeah, inside. They have pockets like this. Oh, I actually like anchored the pockets inside, so so when the kid is putting on, so it's not flipping like on the from like, so it's always in the front, so it's not flipping there and like. So yeah, so you can see it here, just like this. And I cast this one on because I wanted my daughter to have a shorts. And then I had this one skein of DK with the merino base in the, yeah, like this blue color, petrol turquoise color, that I was knitting the sweater for my boyfriend, the one from my favorite knits, my favorite things knitwear. Yes. And I had one skein left, and then I was unsure if I had enough, because they said that for the size 4 to 6 years old as she is, there's just more, like I think it was 150 gram, and the skein of this DK is 115, so there would be not enough. So I decided to make this contrast color, and I used this one, which is the same base, but the one I used for the my Magnolia sweater, one of those. And so I put them here, and I just on the beginning of the pockets. And there's quite many things I would like to talk about. It's actually not the first time I'm knitting those. It's my second time. The first time I knitted the pattern many years ago for my friend, and I bought the pattern online in Norwegian. Norwegian and Danish are quite similar, so like on the paper. So I can understand Norwegian patterns. It's worse with talking because, but I think that's like with all languages, also because Norwegian people are speaking very fast. So yes, and that time I could buy a pattern separately as a single pattern. So I bought this one, and I bought one more pair of shorts, no, trousers. And I don't know, maybe I bought something more. But there was some kind of accident there. I actually checked up for you because I remember that Ministrikk was made by 2 women in Norway, and one of them died. So the second one decided to, I'm sorry, I don't know the names, but the second one decided to close the business, and yeah, there was like a period that very short window that she said you can buy the single patterns on the online, and then it's done. So it's gone. So I bought some patterns because I really think their aesthetics are very nice. So yeah. And right now she kind of continued the business, and you can actually still buy those patterns, but now you can only buy it as a book, and it's called Ministrikk, den første dansen, I think. I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's only in Norwegian. They say that if you want to translate it to English, then you need to contact them. If you want to like make a book in English, then you can contact them. And it's a very sad story. I think it's yeah, very sad story when you lose your friend. Yeah. I tried it. Very sad story. But let's go back to knitting. So it's decor base, and it is in 3 sizes, and I decided to knit 4 to 6 because my daughter is 5.5. And you start with the legs, and you knit them in the rounds, like on the, you purl them in the round, which I decided to cheat a bit. I actually knitted and then when you're supposed to start to knit, I just made the German short row, like the German short row double stitch, so I could like start to knit to the other side. So I did it that way. And I decided to make this part, which is pearled. I decided to make it this light blue. And then you knit the leg, and then you put it on hold. Knit another way, the same way. Cast on some stitches and make this front and back together up till the pocket starts, and then you knit them separately with some short rows, so it's nice on the back. And the pickup for the, like there is this tunnel for the string, or elastic if you feel like, which is super great. I think maybe I'm gonna put elastic because I think it's very hard for the belly to have like this. This is a cotton thread, but like cotton, piece of stuff. But I think I'm gonna put elastic because it's better for the belly. And then you pick the stitches along here, this hole, and then make the pocket. So I knitted this one. I'm really happy how it looks. They give you two possibilities for the pockets, and I think I chose the wrong one because I knitted it in the same fabric as the trousers, and that means that it's a deco wave, which is quite thick. And they give the option that you actually take a stuff and sew it on. So if I would have to do it again, I would sew it on, because I think it's quite like bulking. Like if kid is having it on, then it's kind of bulk to the front. You can see the pockets, and I don't think it's like necessary to have so much stuff there. So yeah, this is like the only thing I would change. So I made it for my daughter. It was a very fun knit. As I said, I documented a lot on the Instagram, where I was blocking, checking the gauge, and knitting. It was super cozy. It didn't take that much time. I think it's just like 2 days or 3 days. And then when I was done and happy, I showed it to my daughter, and she said like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Because they're green. And I'm just like, okay. They're actually not green. They're actually turquoise blue, gray, steel, something in between. Yeah. I don't know. And that's not like the biggest problem, because I think I could talk her to is like a Elsa blue or something. And we have actually a lot of conversation about colors, that colors have no gender, which she's starting actually to understand right now, I think. But the problem with those are they're actually a bit too small. Like when she puts them on, they're very slim on her, especially on the legs. And again, she's not a chunky baby. She's actually, her legs and arms are very thin. So yeah, I think they should be like size up. And they actually say in the pattern that you should check the like the belly circumstance, like check the gauge, check the like how many centimeters the kid has in the belly and in the legs, I think. But they didn't, because she was in the institution that day, so she was not at home, so I couldn't check, and I really wanted to cast on. So yeah, they're too small. But I could block them aggressively. Yeah, I just blocked them like nice. But I think I might also just give them as a gift to some younger kid. Maybe one that is 4 years old. There are plenty of kids my friends has, so might be a thing. Yeah. So, but a fun knit. If you understand Norwegian, then I can recommend it. As I said, you can buy it as a book right now. And it does not use that much yarn. I use just right, just a bit more than 1 skein. And then I find out that I have actually more scraps of same yarn. So, oh well. Okay, so let's talk about some whips, because there was my FOs. I actually thought I'm gonna have one more, but yeah, but I don't. So whips, I had those works in progress that you have seen, and there was actually not that much action on them, so I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm just gonna show you. So this Vega sweater, cardigan, sorry. Cardigan, I'm keep saying sweater. It's a cardigan with this color work, which is gorgeous. And I made some progress. It's, but I don't remember the designer, but I'm gonna put on the screen because her name is quite hard for me to remember. She has gorgeous designs, but just her name is so hard. So I made some progress, I think like this much, but again, you can't really see it. You can't really see it because it's, yeah, because it's just black right now, and it's wonderful in a la sloppy, and it should actually be done by now because it's so big needles I use. But same time, when it's black needles and big needles and black yarn, then I can't really work on it in the evenings because it's too dark and I can't see that good stitches. And the big needles means that there's also like my fingers are getting tired, so I need to switch to some smaller needles and need something else. But it's growing, it's there, and it's really lovely, and I love it, and it's gonna be done soon. I believe so. I think, if I remember right, then I just need like this this amount, so it's really not much for the body, and then picking up the sleeves and so on. You know. So this is my first whip, and again I talk about it so much, so I don't want to waste your time. It was just a very fast check-up on how it's going with that, and it's going slowly forward. It's gonna be perfect for summer. Okay, and my sock, like this sock, you know, that I'm gonna need forever and ever. The first one is done, and the second one got just like, I think, I'm for sure I did the blue one and the black one now, and I think I was in the half of this black stripe. So if I'm looking at them, I just need, yeah, I just need a half of the black stripe and the blue stripe, which is little, and then it's a toe, and then I'm done. I am using this yarn, the wool, 75% wool and 25% of nylon, Sport Wave, this one, which I bought in the grocery shop, Coop, and I'm really not enjoying that. I'm using the small circular needles, as always, from V-nec, which makes normally knitting faster, but the problem is I just don't enjoy. I just don't enjoy the yarn. It's just so rough in the wrong way. I know. But I'm gonna do it. And I actually was thinking if it's because I don't like the knitting socks. I started to actually believe that it's because I don't like knitting socks. And I started to accept that I don't like knitting socks, and it's just fine. There is plenty of things I can knit, and it doesn't need to be socks. I love to wear socks, like wool socks. I wear them all the year round, but I just started to think that's just the way it is. And then I was in a shop in Augusta Mignona in Sveneke, the one on Bornholm that I also sell my hentai yarn. And I just ran into this yarn, which, let's say, it's sponsored because I got it for free from Heidi, which is my friend, which is an owner of the Augusta Mignona. And this is kind of funny thing because I wanted to pay for it, by the way. And normally, if I would get something from my friend, then I would not have to say it's sponsored. But because she has a shop, then I need to say it's sponsored. But Heidi is my friend, and she gave me this one. And yeah, it's Perfect from Regia for play, and it's like this perfect match. It's perfect match. So the two socks, they are identically, and they are striped and they rainbow. And so when I saw it there, I was like, and I was there with my boyfriend and kids, I was like, I need to knit them. It's like, I need them, and I don't really want to dye rainbow socks because because I don't enjoy that. I could, but I don't enjoy it. And they were just there. So I thought it's gonna be a perfect socks for my boyfriend, because the blue one, unfortunately, I think they're gonna be just too short. So I thought that's gonna be great. So I got them from Heidi, sponsor, and I cast on like same moment I came home. I got this 2.5 millimeter needle size from V-nec. I actually asked you also on Instagram, do you think I should cast on? Because I have projects. But you said yes. So I could not resist. And 2.5 millimeter, I just went for the very normal, regular, for me, way of knitting socks. So vanilla socks. Because they are supposed to be for my boyfriend. So I cast on 64 stitches because he likes when socks are snugly, like around his foot, but the problem is that he has a bigger heel, so I often find out that like the ribbing is a problem, like when he's putting them on. That's why I would cast on for myself 60 or 56 stitches, but for him I put 64 stitches on the needles, and then I just actually improvised. I decided I'm gonna make ribbing for 2 colors, and then because I wanted still them to be snugly, so I decreased 4 stitches, and from that I just need the plain stocking stitch 60 stitches in the rounds, and colors are changing by itself, so it's perfect. They say that you should make the heel when the color is repeating. So it actually should be, I think, they said that, but on the pictures it's different. So I just follow the picture. So this color is repeating. So I made the blue heel. And then just knitted the rest and the normal toe. And I was actually, it's like this normal pointy toe. I was actually checking them on my boyfriend while I was knitting. So up to his, like where I would normally start the toe for myself. And then I started the toe and they are too short. Ta-da! Yeah. I could pick, like open the toes and knit one more of those color block again and then toe. But I mean, it's a finished sock and it's just perfect for my feet. So I decided that I think it's gonna be for me. And then I think I'm gonna go and to hide and buy one more bowl of this color. This colorway, I think also. There are plenty of more. But then I can buy one more and make one more pair with the just one more color. Yeah. So this one is done and I start a new one. And as you can see, it's not an issue with socks at all, because this sock is just knitting itself. And I think maybe it's also because those are sport waves, so they are thicker, so maybe that's why it's harder to knit them. And this one is just normal fingering, so it's 2.5mm needles, and or maybe it's because of the self-striping, because stripes are just amazing to knit, because it's like, oh, I'm just making one block, oh, but I need to see what is the next color, and I need to see how it looks together. And then suddenly, oops, you have a almost pair of a socks. As you can see, I'm there, and I just started the orange, and then it's gonna be this purple and violet, or whatever they called. And then there are gonna be a pair of socks. So a fun fact about this socks. It's actually not the first time I'm knitting with regia. I'm quite happy for it. It's sturdy. They're not so soft, but they hold very good. So why not? I made one more of those pair perfect socks. And what I forgot is actually two things. That they have the pattern, like how to use this yarn, which is great. So you can just follow this. I followed my own. And then they describe how to use it, so you get this perfect matched socks. And so the first thing you should do is to start from the middle, which I forgot. So I actually just started from the outside. That's why my socks are reversed, if you look on the photo. Which is totally fine, I mean, doesn't matter. But it's just funny thing, because I was like, I just wanted to cast on fast, so I didn't think about it. But what I thought it would be funny is that, like, because I'm sure I want to make one more pair for my boyfriend, and now when I exactly know how many blocks of color I need to make in order to fit his feet, then I thought I'm gonna buy exactly the same yarn, but I'm gonna start to pull from the middle. And then the color combination is gonna be different. And so we can see, like, which socks are a pair, but it's gonna be kind of the same and cute, because it's gonna be like this couple thing, which he hates, but it's gonna be funny. Work in progress, but almost done. I was actually thinking I'm gonna be done. I was sitting today, and sorry, I'm watching outside, but there are, like, spring is coming, and there is so much life outside. There's like the small birds and rabbits, and yeah. So sometimes, like, there is so much movement that I have to look there. Sorry. Yeah. I thought this sock's gonna be done for right now, because I was sitting in the morning and drinking my coffee, getting my mind together for the podcasting, and then suddenly I made I think I made 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of color and a start of the orange. So it's really like speedy. And yeah, so I'm gonna do this, and I actually really like self-striping yarn, and I'm liking the idea to have like the box of socks, so I can use only self-made wool socks and make like this special box for it, so they can live there and I can enjoy watching them. I have seen other podcasters doing it, like Inge from Knitting Traditions and Emmy Florence. She's also indie dyer, and she's every year making this knit-along with festive socks, which is in November, I think. then you can jump on and follow. Her aim is to knit socks for before the Christmas for each day, so she can have new socks on. So she's collecting socks in a box. So yeah, so she get 24 socks, and I don't know if I need like 24 pairs of socks. I think I would just like 14, and so I can manage to wear them and clean them, and have some extra if there was holes or something, and just have them nice exposed. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. And I actually bought some self-strapping yarn I would like to show you. So give me a second, because I forgot to take it. So I'm back. So this is a self-strapping yarn from A Lonely Sock Lady yarn, another dyer from Denmark. It's not sponsored, I just like to support others. This is the one. It is really pretty, and I got like this mini skein. I think it's something that she puts normally. It's like with her visit card. So yeah, and showing which kind of bases she has. This one is 100 gram. Yeah, with the 5 stripes, and then this black one is like 20 gram mini, so you can make the contrasting heel and toes. So yeah, I am looking so much forward to cast this on, because I love the colors. It's like I bought them actually because I have the visit of another podcaster, Danish podcaster, called Maya from Tractor Lady, and she was visiting Bornholm, and she wrote to me about the yarn, because she bought it last year actually, and then she asked me about some colors, and I told her that when she's here on Bornholm, then maybe we could just make a shirt meetup and just to talk a bit together, and we did. And then she told me about this yarn, which she helped to design the colors, and then she said that it fits to what I'm doing. Like there is like pink and yellow and turquoise and lila and yeah, like this very power colors. So there was a shop update just there when we had a meeting, and we both bought same skein. So now we're gonna be like the what's called sock twins, which is cute. So I'm looking forward to that. Those are gonna be 100% mine socks, and I think it's just gonna be a normal way I'm knitting them. So it's a great start for my box. Soon 3 pairs, but I need to knit something for my boyfriend. But yes, let's go further, because there are still some knittings to show you. Just clean a bit here. So last time I showed you a new cast on, which is diamonds and pearl sweater, and I was just knitting the ribbing. It's a button up sweater, which is not my favorite, but the design is so gorgeous. I put it on the screen, so I just decided that I'm gonna go with it. And it started with like this very long ribbing, which I did, and I was a bit unsure about my gauge. As you remember, maybe last time I did 2 swatches and it was just in between. So I decided just to start and then steam block it and check the gauge when I'm like 10 centimeters or something into knitting. There are 2 panels on the front and the back, and there are like a stockinette stitch in between, and the gauge for the pattern is set in a stockinette stitch. So that's what I did. I block it with the steamer, and check the gauge, and it is actually spot on, 21 stitches. So on a 4mm needle size. So yeah, that's where I am. There is this pin, as I said, with the texture and with the bubbles and with cable. So yeah, it is showing up so beautiful. I'm knitting in a size M, which I decided to have because I thought my gauge was different. I would normally go with S size, and it's because I just look best when I don't have that much positive ease. And I think that's just like totally a preference. And but now I'm just gonna go with this and see how it looks. And I might use some more of a size sweater. And I love it. Like look at it. It's so gorgeous. I think I made a mistake with one bubble and like with the placements at the beginning. And honestly, I really can't say it. I was considering for like 5 seconds if I'm gonna revert back and make the bubble in the right position. And then I thought like, it's not gonna happen because no one ever gonna notice. And right now they're just like, yeah, no one ever gonna notice, and I'm not gonna notice, and it's just fine. Because it's a handmade sweater, it doesn't need to be perfect, and it's just for myself. So yeah, I love how the pattern shows up. And at the beginning I had to use some brain space for making the pattern. I actually printed out just the schema for the pattern, like the panel. So I had to make use some brain juice for that. And then after a while, it started to be very intuitive, which is surprising for me because, I mean, it's quite busy panel. So yeah, so it started to be intuitive. So I enjoy it so much. And I love the color. It's really out of my comfort zone. I'm not wearing that much green. But I can't wait. I'm making it with my hand dyeing. It's a new base. It's called Merino Sparkle, and the colorway is emerald. So I'm knitting it with 2 strands. One is silk mohair and one is this Merino Sparkle. So it's with like a glitter thread, and it's gonna look like this. Yeah. So I love it so much. And I would perhaps be much longer in progress with this one, but there was actually a new cast on, and this is actually the same designer, Popknit. She is designing a sweater with my yarn, actually with a strand of silk mohair called Knitwear, which I made this sweater of, just with 2 strands. But she is blending the my Candy Crush silk merino with silk mohair with Saga, which is non-superwash yarn. I think it's lamb wool from Vuorela, and she's having a really beautiful effect. And then she was searching for testers for her design and talking with me about the silk mohair. So I dyed some colors for the testers. And then I asked Casia that I actually have dyed some yarn for myself that I wanted to, surprise, test the base. and it was just laying there, and I couldn't decide which pattern I'm gonna cast on. And I said, I'm quite sure I want to knit your design in some time because I think it's so gorgeous, and then maybe they would be okay if I would test for you. So I can use the yarn I have and then give you a feedback. And then she said it's super cool. So this is the new upcoming design, and I think she's gonna put out at the end of the month, and it's a kind of magic sweater, and that's where I am right now. So yeah, so it's a top-down sweater with this very beautiful raglan. I don't know if sorry. This very, very beautiful raglan, which I don't know what's the name, but it's a very, very funny raglan to knit. It's very beautiful and easy. She actually explains it very, very well, and she also put a little video on her Instagram. So yeah, so top down, a bit oversized sweater with this beautiful rib, like very long one, and it's a twisted rib, and god, I love it. So the next thing, I'm gonna pick up stitches for the neckline and make the shoulders sleeves, sorry, and it's gonna be done. But I just love it. I put it yeah, I bind off yesterday with an Italian bind off because it's gorgeous, and I put it on. I was kind of afraid if it's not too short and too boxy for me, but because it is oversized sweater. And then I put it on and I was like, oh my god. I know I still need the neckline, and I know that then the fit can change after putting the neckline, but I put it on and I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, and it fits so well, the body. So, amazing. And I'm knitting with 2 strands. So one it's a silk mohair, and one it's the new merino I'm testing. It is not really a colorway because I dyed it the day when my weights that I'm using for the colors, for the dyes, it just didn't turn on, and it was not a battery, it was just because I think it got too wet or something. It's like this wave when you can see like the small amount, and yeah, it just didn't want to work anymore. So I just improvised. So I cannot repeat this colorway, and then I had it there, and I think it's so summery, so lovely, and powerful same time. And I just love this like fabric it gives. Like, there's no pulling. I actually did not variegate the skeins because I like to live dangerously, but I think it is so amazing. So right now I use 2 skeins of each, and I'm gonna break. That's gonna be enough for the neckline, and then I'm gonna break into a new one and gonna make both sleeves. I think both sleeves indeed, and I made many swatches. So I think it's not that like I could manage with less yarn, but I made quite many swatches before I knew I'm gonna knit this design. So that's how they look. And they're so nice. So yes, that is the thing that actually took my time from the another Popknit design, the emerald one. So now I'm just getting this one instead, because there is a deadline, and yeah. But it's also very nice and mindless knit. So It's just knitting itself. Let's see. I think that is actually all for the knitting content, and it was quite a lot, I think. But I have some other stuff I'd like to talk about. So as I said last time, I was I made my first knitting bag on my old sewing machine, which I'm using right now, which is great. And I ordered a new machine, and there was actually a lovely viewer who wrote to me in the comments, and we had a very funny chat, I think. Her name is Anna Kostenska. That sounds Polish. Yeah, I love this conversation. She's also saying that she's having 2 machines, and I just love that she's like personalized them, and like not making one machine jealous of another newer one that she got from her husband. And then like it starts to, I just start to have this feeling, maybe I should keep the name for mine, because it's actually so cute. But my new machine came, and I want to show it to you without destroying everything around me. Whoop. Sorry. It's not that heavy, just there are many stuff. So it's here. This is Brother CS10S, if you're interested. It's not sponsored. But if you're interested in sewing, then I guess you would like to know. It was not that conscious choice, because I'm a new beginner, and I just kind of looked what is out there, what I really want to have, and what is the price average I want to pay. I didn't want to go for the cheapest one, because I think like the sewing machine, it's something then you can keep forever, and if you take care of it, and then I wanted one that can do some different stuff. Like I really wanted something that could sew in a thick fabric, because my boyfriend asked me about that, and my previous machine couldn't do it. Yeah, I wanted a machine that could like lock at the start, at the beginning of sewing. Yeah. But I knew that also I don't need like this 100% professional one, because I'm not gonna be professional with that. I just want to sew some stuff for myself, and some project bags, some clothes for my daughter, some dress maybe, or something like this. But again, I wanted to go for something that can last. And I have to say, I'm really happy. Really happy with my choice, because it's very easy to use. It has very good instruction on internet, and small video clips, a book that you can download. If you're like totally beginner, then it's like basics, which I love. And threading the threads through the machine, and the previous one, I just was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And this one, it's so intuitive and easy, and it has like this little stuff that helps you to put the thread through the needle. And what I love the most is that the down thread, I'm totally specialist. The down thread is in the little window. Then you can just open like this and then take it out. And then when you put it, then you cut the thread, which is so amazing. It's just so easy to change if you want to change the color of the thread. It takes like 2 seconds. And with my previous one, I had to like open all the machine and like take stuff out and make some crazy stuff with the thread, and then pull the needle so it can grab the thread, and like it took forever. And I think it was just so like, when you're not that good to sewing, then the small things can really destroy your enjoyment, I think. And with this one, I'm enjoying it 100%. And it's really nice. It's nice that I can change between stitches, which I couldn't on my old one because it was just sold. It was not mine. I got it secondhand, and so it was really old one. And it just, the only thing it could do, it was a zigzag. And I mean, it's not that good. And this one can do many stitches. Right now I just use 2. But I think in the future. So I decided to make one more project bag because my friend Heidi from August and Jonas, she had a birthday and I wanted to give her something special. So I made a project bag because she also mentioned that she doesn't have one. And then I thought it's gonna be perfect to try it out. So I sit down and I made the one project bag for her. And I don't have it anymore because I gave it to her. But then I also wanted one. And this one I started before the one for Heidi. So it's like my very first try for some parts. And then I made one for Heidi, which was, in my opinion, quite perfect. And I came back to this one, which was not that perfect because I was trying. So, but it's perfect to me. So it has this nice button. And I put the interline, which I'm not very happy for because you can see all the wrinkles here. It's because I was ironing it. Sorry. And I just made some mistakes. So it's wrinkling. That's fine. It's a learning curve. And there is this inlining. And I also made it before the one for Heidi. The one for Heidi had like the pockets along the side with the different width, so she could like put the needles, put a mobile phone actually, and put some papers if she wants to. I didn't think about it, that making this inlining, so I put actually as like afterthought pocket, so it's just like this little one, and I'm having right now some needles there. But I mean, after all, I am quite thrilled with it. I'm using that a lot. Actually, the sweater is living there. So it's quite big. And yes, I would like to make more. And then the funny part is coming because I'm using the same stuff, and it's because obviously that's what I had. And also because it's fine to learn with like small progress. I can see that every time I'm making, I'm learning something new, and it's going better or worse. And I think it's just very nice. And then I wanted to make a new one, actually also as a birthday gift for someone. And I started yesterday to cut pieces. And I know I have a problem. Maybe you can tell me if there are some people who are more advanced. I really have the problem with this, like using thick and thin fabric together. Then like this happening. Like suddenly they are cut identically, but I pinned them together. But while I'm sewing it, but like the stuff is moving, even if it's pinned, like with many pins. It's moving a lot, I think. So it's like this. And it's funny because it didn't happen with the Heidi's bag. So I do something differently, but I just don't know what. And I can't really fix it. I was trying to make it yesterday, and then it happened on the both sides, and then I cut the threads and started from the beginning, and it happened again. And then I felt like, okay, I'm taking a break. And now I'm thinking that maybe, I know it's a knitting podcast, but maybe some of you are sewing, and in fact I know that some of you are sewing, and then maybe you know what to do, and can send me some links or some comments what to do with those two fabrics that are just moving. But yeah, about this personal thing with the sewing machine, then I thought that Anna's sewing machine is called Quilting Ninja, I think she said, because it's a quilting machine. And then I thought that mine should call the White Pearl, because I have an electric guitar, which I love, which is called Black Pearl. And I think the machine should be a White Pearl. And then it's a part of a family. Yeah, and I really want to. My daughter really wants some a dress. So yes, amazing a journey, which I enjoy. I hope it's fine that I'm showing you some sewing. I don't think it's gonna be that much, but I mean, it just makes me so happy, so I would like to share it with you, of course. And there is some stuff I would like to talk about. So now it's gonna be just very chatty thread. So if you're not interested in that, then it's just fine. And I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks, around 2 weeks. But if you want to stick around, then you're so welcome. So last time I asked you about the knitting stress, that if you feel like it's getting there, because I got kind of anxious that I could feel that I was, my mind was all like everywhere. I wanted to knit this, that, and this yarn, this yarn, this yarn, this yarn, and this, that, there, and for my boyfriend, my daughter, for my sister, for my mother, for my friend, and I started to really feel like this stress, and I asked you last time, how do you feel about it? And actually, there are really many answers that people having knitting stress, that it's quite normal, and it's something funny, because I normally use knitting to like put my stress level down and like kind of meditation, and I don't stress while I'm knitting. I'm actually enjoying it a lot, but it's just like between the knitting when I'm thinking about, when I'm watching Instagram, when I'm having like the waiting list of stuff, then I'm getting stressed. And yeah, and I find that it's quite common. And there are many people who say that they made agreement with themselves that they're not gonna cast on more things than X amount. And there is, it varies from like 2 to 5. Yeah, I don't think I have more than 5 things on my pins, neither. But that still doesn't change my my feeling that I want to cast on more. But yeah. But agreements with yourself, that's, I guess, that's something that helps. I think maybe it helps also to not have too many knitting accessories, like knitting needles. So you have to finish something to start something new. But I was thinking about it, and then I realized that there are some stuff that are helping me. So one of the things that I find that helps me a lot, because I don't have that much knitting stress right now, which is amazing. I also knitted quite a lot, but one of the things is that I actually started to meditate. It's like I use just 5 minutes sitting, meditating, finding on YouTube I just Google 5-minute meditation and listening to it, to just finding the one that I feel the voice is nice and the pitch is fine and that it does not irritate me. Then I found some few which I like, and then just using 5 minutes for myself, meditating, and then I can feel like my mind is calmer, which is really nice. So I can recommend that. It's nothing religious, it's just having a break from thinking, or trying to have a break from thinking, which is also fine if it doesn't work, because it's not always possible. Sometimes the thoughts are just crazy and spinning around, but it actually helps, and it's getting better, and I feel much more calmer inside. Then it's another thing that I was thinking about while watching another podcaster. Her name is Kat from Heather and Hobbs English podcast. She was talking about intentional knitting and intentional garderobe. So trying really like to squeeze what kind of projects do you need and what do you need in your garderobe. Making a dream board or mood board with what you really need and knitting that. I think it's a very nice thought. I think I'm too much of the emotional knitter to do that, because sometimes I really like to just cast on, and even something that's not really fits to my style, and I'm ending up be surprised by how actually I love this piece of garderobe. Like, for example, this feminine piece, which is different than my normal minimalistic unisex style of sweaters, and the one with the what's called collar, which I showed you last time, Augustinus, which I got really many nice comments that this color is beautiful, and it is, but it's different. But I'm super happy for it right now. So but that's something which could help, like making intentional knitting. And another thing that I thought is that actually cleaning up your yarn. This is something I was talking with Maya from Tractor Lady when she visited me. We were talking about that all this wonderful yarn which we have, which inspired us once when we got it. Then, like, while it's waiting for its turn and just laying there, it can get actually very stressful. So I actually, and in my case, it's even more crazy because I have yarn everywhere because of my my indie dyer business where I'm dyeing and selling yarns. So I have quite a lot of yarn which is waiting for like drying, or waiting for skin it up, or waiting for embellish, or waiting for putting into the web shop, waiting for putting into the shop, and or packing up. So, and then I have quite many yarns I'm keeping for myself because I'm testing different bases, and so I have yarn everywhere. But then I cleaned it up. I put it in the right boxes, and I really felt like, wow, that helps. And then, the yarn is coming back, like you can see. But they're waiting for the embellish. But it's actually, out of sight, out of mind, as it's called. So that helps as well. Just if you need some inspiration for the knitting stress. I think it was quite a long episode. I don't know how long time I've been talking, but I can feel it in my throat. So I think it's time to say goodbye for now. And I'm looking forward to see you again. So have fun. Bye.